Welcome to my channel. This is Serge bringing you another action figure collector's review on the Lanard Walmart exclusive Alien toy line. Now this is actually a really good line. I think these are from Wave 1 if I'm not mistaken. I don't know too much about this line. I just seen these in my local bargain store for like $3 and I picked up 2 sets of each. And I gotta say, I really do like the Alien figures that come with this line. To me, the $3 was well worth it. Now they are missing some paint on here, so I went ahead and customized it. But we'll go ahead and look at one of the figures right quick, and you can tell all kinds of detail with this figure. It looks very good, and I do like the silver paint that they did use around the mouth. It kind of does pop on these. I mean, you got the red, the yellow, and the blue right here that I'm holding. So, I mean, it does look good. The sculpt work is nice, and you do get a fair amount of articulation. Like the legs are articulated, and this one in particular. You get single jointed knees that bend in that far. You get like an ankle pivot and all this stuff. So you do get very good articulation whenever it comes to these figures. You don't get no joints right there. You just get it right here at the arm and a swivel, and you can lift it up. But same thing goes with the yellow. The yellow and the blue is pretty much the same. But right here on this red one, you do have articulated arms, which I do like a lot right there. And right here, these hips are a little bit different. They don't come out. You can just move them like that. And also the tails are articulated on all of them. But they did a really good job, and each head sculpt is a little different than the other, setting each alien apart from the other ones. Now these little guys right here, these things are pretty much trash. I mean, you can put them in the background or something, but I mean they're your typical dollar store like little action figure guys. So I mean it's not that impressive. It's kind of unproportionate, so I don't like it. But you do get weapons that are kind of plain Jane. They're oversized for those guys' hands, you know. And these action figures are mainly meant for children, so. But, I mean, collectors are going to see aliens and they're going to want to go out and collect these. But I kind of like this in a weird little way. Like, it would be nice for some scenes. And this, to me, seems like it would fit in, like, a 6-inch scale line, too, or 7-inch. So I'll probably use that for some photos, probably paint it up. But right here, we also get this little guy, and he's actually better articulated than the little army guy. You have that, and then you have the single jointed elbow. Moves like that, and just a swivel right there. His head turns side to side. I mean, he kind of reminds me of G.I. Joe articulation. Right there, and we'll set him back here. You get little motorcycles that go with them, too, which is kind of cool, but the guys don't fit on the motorcycle, so it's like, what's the point? I guess they want us to put them in the background of displays or something, I don't know. And these guys are pretty much like the other ones. Right here, you get the same amount of articulation everywhere. The thing is, though, about this wrist, I don't like how that looks with this one because you're very limited to his hand. I wish it would have been flipped the other way. But, I mean, for what I got them for, can't really complain too much. Now, I do really love these eggs right here with the little face huggers. Now, I wish the face huggers tail would have had a little bendy wire in it, but like I said, this is a kid's toy line. It's not for collectors, so I understand that it's just molded plastic, and they did a pretty good job with it as well. I'll probably go back through and paint one of these face huggers, but I'll have to look at some images. But this egg, I'm very shocked that this has some paint detail in there, like shading and stuff through here. I think it actually looks pretty good. I mean, it's not accurate by no means, but I mean, it does look really cool. But anyway, it's enough of that. I'm going to go ahead and slide these guys out of the way. And I went ahead and customized some. I just showed you those so you could, get an idea of what they looked like before. As I reach around here and put these guys back on here. Now, I customized these like the Neca ones or the early Kenner line, and I like how they turned out a lot. I think they look very good. Now, I'm not the best painter in the world, And this is a project that I felt like I was comfortable doing because you can use just your basic acrylic paint and black. Here, let's slide these guys where you can get them back more in frame a little bit better. But I mean, you use your basic black acrylic paint and then you just kind of like dry brush it over there, and you can do all kinds of things with this. You don't have to be an excellent painter or nothing like that. Now, I did paint the teeth silver. I mean, I didn't do the greatest job. Like, you can look inside the mouth and still see a little bit of blue, but I'm okay with that though. I mean, and I do have rubbing right here, but I'm still okay with that too because, like I said, you see the blue come through this figure a lot. So, I mean, it doesn't displease me at all. And I do have a little bit of paint flaking right there, but I mean, I just did paint these just like yesterday, a few hours ago. But I think it really did pop a lot better. And you can see that rib cage and stuff. It really made this figure look very good. Now with this little yellow figure right here, if I can go ahead and grab it. If you notice, I changed it out a little bit from this yellow figure. The arms are a little different right there because I swapped them out with the dog. Sorry, I'm gonna call this the dog. I'm not really sure which alien this one is. If I can get a hold of him. But yeah, you see how it's articulated like that? That's the only one that had the joints. And I was like, well, let me go ahead and try to see if I could do it. And all I did was I put the figure in boiling hot water. I popped this off on both of them and put the pins back through, popped them back on, swapped the arms out that way. And I think it looks good. I mean, I do have the paint chipping right there, which I'm very, that bothers me on this yellow. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, it does look good. I mean, from a distance, if I pose them up a little bit like that, you can barely tell it. But I mean, for $3, what I've got into it, I'm pretty satisfied with how this came out. I do like the silver that I did in the mouth as well, and right there, kind of made the like top of the uh, figure's head look dirty and you could see through there to his brain, which is really cool. The rib cage and stuff looks good. I do have missing paint right down here on the toes, which I would have done that black, which I'll probably go back over. But I mean, all in all, for the most part, I do like it. Now, with that, I put the original hands back on this figure, and whenever I did that, it kind of left a gap right there, if you can tell. Which, I mean, at least for good articulation, but that gap kind of bothers me. But I didn't want to put these hands back on it because these are meant for this figure to like stand up on. I'll go ahead and slide him to the side. And he just stands, and see these pop off. As you can tell, I used the yellow, but these pop off very easy. So just be on the lookout whenever if you do that to yours. But I mean, this one stands fairly well. He's just not as articulated. I mean, you just can move his arms pretty much like that and out to the side, and then his legs. So, but I mean, he's a dog, so you're not gonna really have him pose standing straight up. And this works for me, I mean, I wish he could look up a little bit more, but I mean, it is a kid's toy line. But I do like it all in all. I mean, I think I like this head sculpt about the best because I like how you can see through there. And I did that smoky right there on top, which I think looks very good. And right here, and I used a mixture. I used like straight black on acrylic paint, and then I went and got me a metallic, and I mixed it in with a gray, and it kind of like, especially on this one, you can see where it kind of pops a little bit more, how it's different tones. It's not just a straight black. And I kind of like, I dry brushed the black on first, and then I dry brushed on the mixed colors, and then I painted the teeth in that metallic silver, and I think that just turned out pretty good. Now I'll go ahead and get this guy back into frame real quick, and we'll put him next to one of these guys, the 3-inch figures that we gave that they gave us, and you know, it scales up pretty well in size. Turn them that way. So I mean, it's not terrible. I wish these guys would have been a little bit shorter, or these guys would have been a little bit taller, but it's just a minor nitpick. Oops, I went ahead and dropped them in the floor. I'll pick them up later. But I'll go ahead and get another 3-inch figure and slide this guy back out of the way. And I'll put Spider-Man in there. And, you know, that goes in scale pretty well as well. So, I mean, I'm pleased with that. It looks good. You know, I'm kind of impressed with how that turned out. Now, with these little face huggers back here, I forgot to mention that I feel like these go into the 6-inch line a lot better than I think that they go into the 3 3/4 inch. Because if you take Captain America, which is your standard 6-inch Marvel Legend, you put that on his face, and I think it just hugs his face a little bit better. Because this is way too big, say for this guy right back here, for his face. So, I don't know. I think it fits in the 6-inch scale. And plus, some eggs are a little bit oversized as well. So, I feel like that's a good 6-inch size. But right there. Oh, if you recognize this Captain America, I did repaint his face a little bit. And you can tell it right through here. I've touched up his chin. And then touched up his nose a little bit. And I'll show, if you didn't watch my con video, I'll show you a video of it. But anyway, that was my review of the Alien action figures. Let me know what you think of these figures. Let me know what you think of the review in the comments below. And as always, feel the urge to collect with Surge.